Hi, I'm Aisha. You are watching Educational Hub. It can be a difficult task to read scientific research papers. In order to understand the research and assess its reliability, it is crucial that you have a thorough understanding of such research before reading it. Watch this video for the following advice to help you effectively read scientific research articles, understand them and critically evaluate them. The following sections have been used in most research papers: abstract, introduction, methods, results, discussion and conclusion. Let's begin. 1. Abstract. An abstract is the short summary of a research paper or entire thesis. It is an original work, not an excerpted passage. Without any reference to other sources or the content of a document, an abstract must be entirely coherent and make sense on its own. This sets out in detail what research has been done and what conclusions have been drawn. 2. Introduction. The introduction includes information on the field and previous related research leading to this paper in order to give an overview of these studies. It provides a detailed description of the research, what is known about the subject and hypotheses that are being examined, as well as how they will contribute to improving understanding in this area. It's often short descriptions of key phrases or concepts. Information on how research is likely to improve existing understanding may sometimes be included in the introduction. However, for discussions and conclusions such as that, this is often saved. 3. Method. Methods are the particular tools and methods you're using to collect and analyze data, for example, experiments, surveys or statistical tests. You could just write about what you have done within the methods section of a shorter scientific paper, which is intended to report findings from an individual study. It provides a detailed explanation of how the data were obtained and analyzed, including what experiments have been carried out using samples, equipment and techniques. Here you shall also learn about statistical techniques. 4. Results. Results. When researchers analyze their data, what they find is also sometimes referred to as the findings section in an empirical research paper. This report has a primary aim of using data gathered in order to respond to the research question referred during its introduction, even if it is found to be inconsistent with that hypothesis. The results of that research shall be presented without prejudice or interpretation. 5. Discussion. A discussion section is one of the last parts of a research paper where an author has described, analyzed and interpreted his findings. They're going to explain the significance of those findings and make it all about research questions. The outcome is summarized in the discussion. This is where the results are being translated and their importance laid down. It summarizes the introduction and provides an explanation of how the study responded to a research question. 6. Conclusion. The end of the research paper is where you finish your ideas and leave the reader with a strong impression. It sets out several major objectives. Clarify the problem statement mentioned in the paper. Briefly summarize the main arguments or findings of your work. Focuses on the main points and results of the research, its importance in this area, as well as what authors believe should be investigated with their findings from time to time. Tips to read research paper. 1. Pay attention to the title. The main purpose of the paper should be given in the title. It is also useful to look at the authors and affiliations, which could be significant for several reasons, for example, in relation to future references, employment possibilities or guidance, as well as checking whether research is reliable. 2. Read critically. Do not expect the authors to be right when you read a research article. Rather, ask questions during your journey, such as whether this is the correct method of replying to that question. Did they do a good analysis of statistics? And why did they come to that conclusion? It is also important to take into account the size and statistical significance of the sample. 3. Make notes as you go. You write notes in any way that's most convenient for you. Printing out a newspaper and making notes about it can be helpful. To be more environmentally friendly, we can also make notes via digital means. 4. Read it multiple times. A research paper contains a lot of information, which is why it'll take you so much reading before you understand everything. First of all, think about what your research is for as a general purpose and the results that have been achieved. When you've had an initial understanding on it, look at more detailed information. 5. Read references. The knowledge gained from the reference work will help you understand research in general and what was previously investigated. 6. Discuss the paper with someone else. You'll find out how much you understand and if you can learn more from the paper when you discuss it with someone in your laboratory or another lab. In addition, it's an effective way of strengthening your memory and consolidating what you've learned. Steps for reading a paper. 1. Check the publish date. Knowing when a study was published helps you to understand whether it is the most recent findings and how likely further studies will take place in the future. 2. Skim all of the sections of the paper. When you're doing this, make notes and look for the meaning of any words you don't know. A handy tip is to use Ctrl+F on the keyboard to search for the first time an acronym is mentioned if you come across it later on in a paper, as this is where it will be defined. 3. Read the introduction. For more background information on this subject, you will find details of what researchers have been doing in that area before and why they chose to conduct the study. If you don't know what this is about, wait a little longer. 4. Identify how this paper fits in with the field. What is the most important question in this field to be solved? This will make it easier for you to understand how the work has had an impact and why. 5. Read the discussion. You will understand the findings of that report in this section. It would be helpful to draw up a summary of your main findings and write down all questions you have so that when you read the remainder of this paper, you can find out what they are. 6. Read the abstract. To get an overview of the paper. The abstract usually summarizes the overall reasons for conducting the study, how the topic was investigated, major findings and a summary of the interpretations, conclusion of these findings. It is a good way of knowing in greater detail the study before you read about it. 7. Look through the results and methods sections. The most technical part of the paper can often be the methods section. You'll probably need to repeat this section over and over again in order to get the full understanding of procedures and results. The following factors shall be taken into account when the results and methods sections are read. Sample size, statistical significance. 8. Write a succinct summary of the research. Write a short summary of the research to make sure your understanding is correct. If you intend to write an essay, dissertation, thesis or literature review after the writing of your paper, this will also help. What's the research being conducted on? Why did the research investigate this? What was found? Is this a unique finding or does it support other research in the area? What's the meaning of this outcome? What experiments can be carried out, in order to respond to other questions? Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe my channel for more informative videos.